Hello, welcome to this course proposal on corrosion, environmental degradation and surface engineering. My name is Dr. Harish Hirani. I am professor at the Department of Mechanical Engineering, IIT Delhi. So, I am happy to introduce this kind of course because last around 6 to 10 years I have been involved in some sort of work which is related to surface engineering or surface degradation, and I feel it is more important compared to the material degradation. Material degradation has been taught number of times and maybe in different books, but we want to give more emphasis on a surface degradation. Reason being almost 70 to 80% failure start from a surface degradation and lead to the material degradation. They are not synonymous, they are not interchangeable. Mostly failure start from surface degradation and moves to the material degradation and cause a major problem. So, that is why this course we wanted to concentrate on a surface degradation. Let us show me the couple of slides to you and then give a proposal about this course. If you see, this course is for the 12 weeks and approximately 30 hours. We will be taking around 32 to 33 lecture, reason being our per lecture will be around 45 minutes to 55 minutes, and there are number of terms which we will be explaining in detail, like a major term here it has been, you can see here there is a corrosion. So, why corrosion is so important for the surface degradation is important to understand. Then another one is coming around environmental degradation. Is there any relation between environmental degradation and corrosion? And one more term is coming, something like a surface engineering. Is it really giving another kind of failure or is it a remedy? So, we will be concentrating on this kind of topics in this course, but let me start from what is the really importance of this subject. And so we come to the one of the major report in these days which has been published, that the cost of the corrosion to the India is almost 5.95% of the GDP. That is a very big amount and huge amount. If I express this in the terms of INR, it comes roughly the 1.6 lakh crores per year, and surprisingly it is much more than complete educational budget of India. That whole education, primary, secondary, higher education all together are much lesser than this cost which is caused by the corrosion itself. Now, naturally question comes, so what are the really portions which are related to the corrosion? So, where we say that there are two major portions, one is the direct corrosion or direct damage caused by the corrosion, and another one is the indirect failures which is causing the cost to us. So, 2.3% of GDP is because of the direct losses and 3.65% is directly or indirectly related to this kind of losses. When we come to the indirect losses, we know very well that shutdown costs a lot. Many times component costs only 35 to 40 lakh, but per day shutdown cost, when the plant is closed for one day, it costs much more than that. It may be almost 10 times, 15 times also. Another one thing is that if corrosion is continue, there will be loss of efficiency, and then loss of efficiency is a loss of energy also. It is going to give a more problem, or maybe it will be unsustainable solution. Many times we need to replace a complete product, so that is a loss of the product, and it is going to cost also to environment, because whatever the damage or waste portion we need to discard and is going to cost to the environment. Sometimes we do over design, reason being that we know very well there will be some corrosion, there will be some failure, and we want to over design maybe 2 more times, 3 times, 4 times. So, it will be unnecessary cost to the environment again, because we require more raw material, we require more cost, and in this competitive world if we do over design, we will not remain competitive. Whatever the references or whatever the data I have given, we have a references like NAS economic report, Bhaskar and the article, and there is an India budget. So, all this can be verified and checked, and we know that this is an important topic to be considered. Now, moving to the next slide, I am trying to take a very simple examples which you have experienced in day to day life. If you look at this car, it is an ambassador car which mostly was made of the metal body, and if you leave this car in environment for the couple of years, or maybe say even a couple of maybe the one winter and one in the rainy season, quite possible this car will turn out to be this kind of car. It is very clear that there is a lot of rust in this. So, here the major question comes, is environment causing a damage to the product? Our product is causing a damage to the environment. So, I have given this as a reversible sign. This reversible sign you can see very clearly, environment causes also the damage to the products, and as the product will be defunctional, will not be useful, then we need to discard and we may need to make a new products in the case. So, that means whatever the product which has caused the surface degradation or failure is going to cause a failure of maybe say the degradation of environment. So, that is why I have written some sort of reversible phenomenon. Now, in last slide we have considered corrosion as one of the major problematic in a surface damage. Sometimes people use a word oxidation and then they say the oxidation and corrosion are synonymous. That is again I do not want to agree with that. I say the oxidation is a one kind of action or one kind of chemical reaction which is related to corrosion, but corrosion is a very big domain. It involves many more parameters, not only the oxidation, and that is why we want to cover corrosion in a bigger domain compared to the oxidation, and we say that it is a very important for us. So, how do we really go to the next level? And again I am taking very simple example just to avoid this kind of corrosion. Maybe what we say that instead of corroding this component in this form, we can make a cover on that, we can protect this car complete cover with a one cover. What will happen in this case? When we are covering, car will be protected, and this is what we can say that we are protecting the surface. And when we say this is a way, then we can say that we can introduce a surface engineering as a domain or as a discipline or kind of engineering tool to protect all the damages which are happening because of corrosion or because of the environmental damages. We can prevent degradation of environment, we can prevent degradation of surfaces also. That means, if you want to replace or eliminate a degradation word, you bring the surface engineering in this. Not only this, now here we can see here, if I bring the surface engineering, surface degradation reduces, that will increase the residual life or remaining useful life of the product. That means, whatever the product which was sustained earlier for the 3 years, it can be sustained for 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. If the technology changes, then we will need to replace it, but as such, because the surface damage, it cannot be, should not be replaced, or we say we are stopping surface damage, surface degradation. As we are not really rejecting that material and then we are enhancing the life of the product, naturally it is we are moving to the more sustainable domain. That means, environment also is not going to get degraded because of our products. Whatever the product which we were already discarding in 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, we can reuse or recondition or apply surface engineering very effective manner and enhance the life of the product and protect the complete environment. So, I can see that this is a sustainable solution, or surface engineering can provide a sustainable solution to the products and to environment. So, it is a overall the win-win situation. We provide a clean environment, sustainable environment, we provide a sustainable solution for the product by increasing its residual life. Now, coming to this, all this together will be covered in our course corrosion, environmental degradation and surface engineering. Again, am I mentioning that environment may cause a damage of the product, and because of the damaged product we need to discard, it will cause an environmental degradation. So, in one way we cannot say only the environment degradation, but environment is causing a surface degradation, that is why the environmental degradation is happening, and to avoid, to mitigate, we require a surface engineering, and that is all about this course. We want to introduce this kind of a course, or maybe the practical course which where a lot of industries will be related, and then it is a completely sustainable solution. It is going to provide a lot of knowledge, and it requires really a lot of science to be implemented. So, it will provide effective solution to us. And that is why we have divided this complete course in 5 domains. What we are using the word first, the surface degradation. Second, what is the relation to the environment? Then comes what are the characterization techniques, because many times we identify the failure by just examining through our eyes or visual examination, but that may not be sufficient. We may not be able to come up with a root cause of failure of that. We are not able to detect what is the fundamental reason for the failures. Then in the situation, if we whatever the solution we will provide, it may not be providing the sustainable solution. It may provide some solution, some improvement, but not the optimum solution. So, that is why when we do a characterization in a effective manner, then we can think about the failure analysis and life cycle assessments analysis. Reason being the life cycle assessment, how the product is made, what kind of the service life it has given to us, what kind of failure it has occurred, and then it has, will it be reconditioned or we need to discard. Those things are very, very important. And finally, come to the surface degradation methods or and mitigation, effective mitigation methods to avoid the surface, because there are number of techniques, number of surface treatment available in the market, but question comes whether those will be economic, because we need to be in competition. We need to provide a competitive solution. If you are not able to provide a competitive solution, then we will not be able to sustain that. So, this is all about our courses. Now, question comes when the student attend this kind of course, what will happen? May avail a one certificate from NPTEL, and then there will be some sort of online assignments. Every week we will be providing online assignments, and then you can submit those assignments. And out of the 12-week assignments, we will be choosing the best 8, and that will have a 25% weightage of the course. And if you are able to score 10 marks, at least 10 marks out of those 25 marks, then you will be moving to the right, obviously the passing grade. In addition, we will be having proctor examination, everything will be the online in this case, and that has a weightage around 75% weightage. Again, overall score should be more than 40. If your score is more than 40, you will be getting this kind of certificate. This course will start on 24th July 2023. Again, we are also fixing the date of the examination, that will be on 29th October 2023. We are keeping this end sem in 2 parts, morning session and evening section. You can see these are the 3 hours examination. If you get a chance in a morning examination, is good. If you are not able to get a time in the morning examination, you can also appear for the afternoon examination. As I mentioned, that this examination will be proctored, and then camera will be there to record your examination. So, this is all about our proposal for this course. That's the name is a corrosion environment degradation. We are saying that corrosion is going to play a major role. Environment is a bigger domain, but we are giving more emphasis in this case on the corrosion, and then we are also giving a lot of emphasis on surface engineering. To make us to bring a sustainable environment, we should use a surface engineering effective manner and minimize the degradation of the surfaces. Thank you.